Lovely ladies and handsome gentlemen, to another calm and suave episode of Cartoon Conversations, where we break down the know-how of every cartoon that comes our way, which is mainly just Justice League stuff so far, but you know what I mean by that.
Maybe one day there'll be others.
One day. We'll get there one day, and then we'll get more fans, and Jeff will have more people to talk to this about.
And he can buy those t-shirts we will make.
We'll make t-shirts, and we'll have enough money for a budget for a goddamn intro that'll actually be someone not talking, but like music and stuff.
Do 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 do.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
Do.
Get to the big question.
Okay, so the big question of the day is, how do you deal with very adult themes like stalking and mental illness
Oh jeez.
in a kid show while still not treating them with kid gloves?
Yeah.
And we're gonna see how they walk that fine line. It's a difficult line, and I think they sometimes end up on the wrong side of it, but I think they never go to the point where it's not appropriate for kids.
Yeah.
So in the end, I'm pretty okay with where they end up.
There was a really, really big twist in regards to what was going on with one of the characters in this episode. Definitely. I feel like they kind of handle it well, but that's something we'll talk about later.
I think on the whole it was quite well, because they kept in mind the one important thing.
What?
It had to be appropriate for kids.
Oh, right. It had to end up that, like, you know, no one is truly bad except for the villains and whatnot, so it was all good intentions.
I don't think they quite did that. We'll talk about that
Alright.
as we go.
Yeah.
So, let's start the episode breakdown. So we open on Batman getting punched in the face by a nobody called Lord Havoc.
Yo, Lord Havoc
So,
is just slugging
Lord
the
Havoc doesn't
crap
really
out of
seem to have too much aside from an
Being-
awesome name.
being made of metal, I guess.
Yeah.
Being like a robot or
Yeah,
something.
He seems like he's like a future robot from the future to
He looks like
take over the world or something,
He looks like Doctor Doom combined
with really shitty drawing.
Yeah, that's with like Mongol or something. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
got that color scheme down. Whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So then... So, the JLU in the background is fighting other supervillains. Batman defeats Lord Havoc because, you know,
Stabs
he's
him in the
Batman and
fucking
Lord Havoc
crotch.
is some guy who I had to look up.
Yeah.
And then he's attacked by Tracer,
Tracer.
who is defeated by Vixen,
Not from Overwatch.
who's defeated by Dreamslayer,
Oh.
which causes a reaction from Green Lantern, which works out about as well for Dreamslayer as you could
Yeah.
imagine.
Dreamslayer here is actually voiced by John DiMaggio, which is a thing that
It was a nice
happens
cameo.
a lot in cartoons, actually.
Yeah.
And then you never see Dreamslayer ever again because he gets swiftly beaten the crap out of by a bubble.
But, you know, it's kind of nice because, you know, he got a good shot in on Vixen.
Right.
Like, it was kind of a red herring that Joe DiMaggio was the voice actor, because if you're slightly older and you're watching, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy might be someone important,
Yeah.
because he's voiced by John DiMaggio.
Yeah, right.
And you don't bring that talent in for a throwaway character. So it was kind of a nice,
You know, he
nice
actually
misdirection.
he actually does a lot of those kind of little minor stuff now and then. He was in what was it, Wreck-It Ralph at one point in time.
Oh, yeah?
It was like for the people that don't actually know that, because he was in Wreck-It Ralph for about 5 seconds and had maybe like 2 lines. It was great. I mean, I think they had Kyle Hebert, I think, as Ryu and Ken, maybe. I don't know. I remember there was someone important that was for when they were walking around the arcade in Wreck-It Ralph, but like they never appear again, so whatever. Famous
So-
actors.
So yeah, Green Lantern imprisons Dreamslayer in a bubble, and then Dreamslayer tries to break said bubble, and it works out poorly for him, let's
It works
say.
about as well as some random guy that you've never seen before versing one of the, you know,
Heavy
strongest
hitters of the league.
Yeah, one of the strongest league members ever. So
And-
like it doesn't work for him.
I think now would be a good time to talk about how Jon Stewart has, like, no creativity. And I kind of like that in his
Oh,
character,
yeah.
that he's a Marine. But, dude, Kyle Rayner would have had a dinosaur eat him.
Oh, yeah.
And then had that dinosaur join the circus.
No, that's Hal Jordan has a lot of he was very imaginative, but he was very like weaponry like. He was very machine like and very technological,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, you don't need fancy shapes to be creative, but Jon Stewart has his, like, 3 things. He's got his little beam
Yeah.
that he shoots you with.
Yeah.
He's got his bubble.
Yeah.
And then he's got the shield that protects him,
Right.
which is also a bubble.
That's all you need when you're a
And,
goddamn Marine.
dude, that's all he needs. He's a badass Marine. As we showed in the Savage Time, he doesn't even need his frickin' ring to take you out.
Oh, right.
But
All he did
I
was
understand
keep
why the
crap.
fans who were Kyle Rayner fans loved it. I'm personally a Jon Stewart guy,
Ah.
so I love this, but...
I like them all, in all honesty. I mean, like, Hal Jordan's a little boring to me after going through all these people. Hal Jordan's kind of like...
Yeah, I think Hal Jordan's a little boring. I think if you grew up reading Hal Jordan, it might be a little different, though.
Yeah, probably. I mean, because he was obviously the first one to get through, so he...
Well, he was the second. Alan Scott.
Oh, well, I don't feel like Scott counts, really.
I guess his weakness was wood, not yellow.
His weakness was wood, yeah.
So... I love there was a line from Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold.
What do you do? What would you do if someone comes at you with a bat?
No, with a
Same
stick.
thing. A stick.
With a stick. The same
thing
thing.
if he painted it yellow.
Yeah, the same thing happened to you if it painted it yellow. I love that line. He was just so bitter towards Guy Gardner, especially towards
Because
Guy Gardner.
everyone hates Guy Gardner.
Everyone hates Guy Gardner.
Except in Green Lantern, the animated series. Where everybody loves Guy Gardner,
like
even though he's
complete-
completely insufferable.
It was the completely opposite, yeah, where everyone loved Guy Gardner for some reason.
And it was a nice twist. It was really funny. Because they made him just as hateable as always, but they made it a joke that everyone loved him.
You know what's actually kind of funny? The voice actor for Batman and Batman Brave and the Bold was the voice actor for Guy Gardner in that animated
Oh, that
series.
so fits.
Yeah, it was really weird. But it was just like very funny.
Nah.
Alright, so back to things
Yeah.
happening. People getting beaten the crap out of.
So, yeah. So after Dreamslayer is defeated, Hawkgirl is fighting Gorgon.
Seriously, with a
who's-
name like Dream Slayer. I'm like, oh my god.
Who's distracted by Batman and then thrown into a building by Hawkgirl.
Yeah.
So, bad day for Gorgon.
Right.
Bad day for
you know,
supervillains, really.
pretty much looks like Fat Doc Ock, but like, who knows. Fat, Filipino, scary, red eyes, yeah, whatever.
So when the police are carting off the supervillains, archaeologist named Carter Hall comes up. So now, you DC fans out there know that this is Hawkman. And he holds up a weapon, which
Yeah,
is a very bad idea to do to a superhero.
He freaking holds up a sword thing right in front of Hawkgirl, and she freaks out. And she's like, "Get that shit out of here!"
Yes.
Smacks it with her mace. And he goes, "Oh wait, it's an antique." Talks about how it's an 8,000-year-old piece of Thanagarian technology of equipment. It's made from nth metal, and I just stared at it, and the first thing that came through my head was, it's looking really good for 8,000 freaking years old.
Maybe they had stainless steel in Thanagar.
I don't know. Maybe it was because of the fact that it's nth metal. It like I don't
Yeah,
know, can last forever.
and metal, maybe it doesn't rust.
Right, something like that. Well, that and the handle was also, I don't know, like pure gold that just looked shiny as all hell.
Also, we get a cool tidbit that Thanagarian tech is banned. And there's a black market for it.
Oh, yes.
So that was kind of cool.
Everything after the war happened, they had either confiscated it or destroyed it. Or
Which
both.
makes me think that the javelins must be at least partially Thanagarian technology.
How so? Why would you say that?
Because I don't think we saw them in the original series.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't think we had nearly as many people in the original series to, garner something like that. They wouldn't need something like that. But I feel like javelins have been there even without the Justice League Unlimited Thanagarian War. Because the Thanagarian War wasn't always in every single...
I thought they just teleported back and forth in the Justice League series.
That's true. But sometimes they do have different, what do you call them? Ways of
I also love how
transportation.
Batman disarms Carter Hall. He just he knows that when he sneaks up on him, he's totally stealthy. Bam, hits him in the hand, he drops it, he catches it.
Punches him in the freaking hand. Alright, so after that, after
So.
they confiscate the guy's butter knife...
He explains that it's 8,000 years old, is that the Thanagarian architect, and Batman's like, sure it is.
Yeah.
Sure it is. I'm gonna investigate this myself.
Right.
So, well, the weapon,
Yes.
he says he was an archaeologist, he found it in Egypt.
He's also
And he
goddamn
also
handsome,
wants-
by the way.
He's very handsome.
Oh, he is delicious.
So, he also wants to discuss it with Hawkgirl.
There are finger quotes being used here.
Yes. Vixen likes that idea.
Oh yeah.
And she even recommends a good restaurant in Cairo.
Oh yeah, in Cairo.
In Cairo,
Oh, because
Egypt.
it's in Egypt. Yeah. For a second there, I was like, wait a minute.
But Green Lantern has reservations, which his girlfriend doesn't appreciate.
Right, of course. And then
Dude,
Hawkgirl-
dump him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Vixen, you are too good for that man.
Right. It's that old-timey kind of love deal where it's, I like him, so I'm going to try and fight
Well, she
for him.
compared him to a bad book that she just had to get through. Like,
Yeah.
that is their relationship. It is a bad book that she has to get through because she's punishing herself for something.
That's kind of fucked up.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the more I look at it, the more like, that's kind of fucked up. But I mean, like, he
She's
is
got something.
Later on, we see he is a bad book at a certain point.
I mean, look, dude, he's a great guy, but he is staying with her because he is too guilty
Right, to go back to
the person who he
Hawkgirl.
should be with.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry,
I don't even know if he should be with Hawkgirl after that point.
but he shouldn't be with Vixen at the very least.
Oh, yeah, 'cause there's no love.
He's doing her
love.
no favors.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's for next time on Justice League.
the
Dating
Relationship
Advice.
Chronicles.
The Relationship Chronicles.
I wish there was actually more relationships on the show. If you just need to bump up the age 5 years, and this show would have been.
Oh yeah, and
Really
Shining Knight and
Oh my God, Shining Knight and Vigilante.
would have been a
romance.
gay couple.
I see that.
100%.
I really saw it more of a bromance movie,
Oh, no,
like
but-
I Love You Man.
Oh,
but,
right. If this was bumped up 5 years more, they would totally be a gay romance.
it could be gay, but
Yeah.
okay, here's the thing. It was 2005. You couldn't do that the way you could do it now.
I know that. I mean, that's why I'm saying you bump it
Yeah.
up more years.
Yeah.
And you keep it going on. What was like the earliest gay romance they've ever had?
I guess it was Brokeback Mountain, which was right around now. And Brokeback Mountain was really controversial.
Oh yeah, it was.
There were protests
I mean,
about
I mean,
Brokeback.
with
It's a pretty good movie.
yeah, no,
actually.
with superheroes. What was the what's the earliest kind of homosexual?
First gay superhero.
Yeah.
Batman. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Ha! Oh God.
No, I don't know.
Superman.
I mean,
What?
Batwoman came out as a lesbian a couple years ago.
I remember Batwoman. Yeah.
I don't know. There've been a couple.
I know Bunker
In the past couple
is
years.
gay. In
Did Guy Gardner turn out to be gay?
No, I don't think Guy Gardner turns out to have sex. Although
Oh.
he was enlisted in what was it? Not the Indigo Tribe, the other one, the Love Tribe not tribe, but
I thought that was Indigo.
no, Indigo is compassion.
Oh.
Indigo is terrifying compassion. What's the pink one? What's her
I know.
name? Huh?
What? Reggie Biv. So.
Well,
Violet.
Violet. Yeah. Well, no. What was her? Star Sapphire.
Star Sapphire.
Yeah,
that's what it
okay.
is, yeah.
Star Sapphire is her whole brigade because Guy Gardner is one of the only men that's full of so much love, and the reason why he didn't join them was said because he hates spandex or wearing tights or something like that. And I only thought the first thing I was like, he has so much love for what? For beating the
Himself?
people up? Yeah.
I think the thing is he has so much love for himself
himself.
that nobody can match it.
Right. He actually does. Later on, they give him like a little nice compassionate arc, sort of.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he kind of stops becoming. He stops becoming a part of the Ring Corps, and he ends up opening a bar in space, where the entirety of what it's supposed to be is a place where literally anyone can come and just do anything. Where there's literally no fighting, there's no war, there's no like political
That's nice.
agenda. It's crazy, yeah. And he opens this bar and it's like just entirely designed for people to just be themselves.
That's great.
Yeah.
So-
In space.
Mhm.
Space bar.
So yeah. So we have a plan. JLU will look at the artifact while
Hawkgirl
Hawkgirl will go out to dinner with Carter Hall.
goes to do the nasty.
She hesitates seeing Green Lantern, but then decides to go.
I feel like
Vixen's not happy about.
I feel like
Green
she
Lantern's whole
hesitated
thing.
first because of duh. But then I feel like after she saw Green Lantern and thought, maybe this is something that I should do either to make him jealous or
Oh, she was definitely 100% doing it to make him jealous.
I think it was also her thinking, she should get off of him. She needs to
I think she
move on.
eventually moves to a healthy mindset in the
in what they were-
relationship.
yeah.
But I think the initial one is I want to make Green Lantern jealous.
You make him jealous.
Which isn't, if that's how it starts, what's important is where it ends up. And I think it ends up somewhere healthy. Okay. So, then we hit credits. And we're actually back to bits from the episode mixed with the same stock thing.
Right.
Which I think is a nice compromise between the two.
Mm-hmm. It definitely makes you pumped up for what's to come in the episode, and it definitely... I feel like...
It doesn't reveal too much, because they didn't have to fill as many slots with there. I think this was a good compromise.
Yeah, they're all like little fight scenes.
We also get a hint in this scene, in the last scene I forgot to mention, that Shadow Thief is coming, if you're a DC fan.
Right. That and the fact that I didn't realize what was going on because I'm not a DC fan, so I didn't know immediately. But, so this was kind of a thing where it shows... kind of surprising the kids, like, oh, he's a bad guy, but you realize that he's not actually a bad guy later on, he's just being tricked, but it's making us believe that he's a villain somewhat, instead of just like a stalker, how he has nefarious plans. What I also kind of meh at is the fact that this is literally, the episode is called Shadow of the Hawk.
Yeah.
So, the Shadow of Hawkman was the bad guy.
Okay, but it's a nice play on words because
I know,
they were also dealing with the after effects of something. You might call it the shade it fell, which is a shadow.
The shade it did.
I'm sorry. The shade events of the past cast.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's so blunt and simple, and it's just really. You did not work hard when you pieced that one together.
I liked it. I thought it was a nice name.
Dude, there's a Shadow Man, and he's trailing Hawkman.
Well, Shadow Thief is Hawkman's, principal villain. He's his Joker. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
If you're gonna know a Hawk,
Because, I mean,
that is literally the only Hawkman villain I know.
Oh, I've never really ever seen
And not
him.
because of this. I know... You say Hawkman, I say, okay, Shadow Thief. You say Batman, I say Joker. You say Superman, you say Lex Luthor.
Right.
I don't know. That's how it is.
What do you say for Wonder Woman? Cheetah?
Cheetah, yeah.
Cheetah. And for the Flash, I think what? You got, Gorilla Grodd?
Well, yeah, I guess it'd probably be Gorilla Grodd. I mean, Gorilla Grodd's a little bigger than just one, but...
Right.
I mean,
Or
the best,
Captain,
solo Flash...
Captain
probably
Cold.
Captain Boomerang, Captain Cold, the Jokester...
God, isn't he the Trickster?
The Trickster, yeah.
I love Captain Boomerang. He's fucking hilarious.
I like Captain Boomerang.
Alright.
So, Batman says that, according to carbon dating, it's over 8,000 years old.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
It looks
people on the internet were annoyed, mainly on Wikipedia, that he said over 8,000 years old when carbon dating gets it down to the decade.
Right.
Dude, it could have been 8,020 years old, and Batman was just like, yeah, it's over 8,000 because I'm talking to a person and I have social skills.
Yeah.
And I don't feel the need to give a douchey. It's 8,039.3 years old.
While raising your, glass of Pinot Noir and sipping gingerly, and listening to the calmest of heavy grunge, I don't know.
The calmest of heavy
The
grunge.
calmest of heavy grunge. And while smoking a lot of pot, so all of your words don't actually really make sense at all, but still... He could just say 8,000 years old because they said it before and because kids are totally fine. They can understand 8,000. It's fine. You don't have to go with super deep numbers. Just let it go.
So internet, relax.
Yo, calm your shit. Yeah, internet of what, 2005?
Yeah, internet of 2005.
People of 2005. Seriously, you guys need to calm down about this. I don't think anyone's really raising a flag anymore.
No, I imagine the controversy over that is over.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
What's it?
So Batman has some street smarts. That's nice to know.
Well, of course he's got street smarts.
Then Hawkgirl says, the date matches the make of the weapon, which is nice to know she knows some Thanagarian history. But she has to leave to get ready for her date.
Oh,
She just happens to meet Green Lantern in the elevator and flirts it shamelessly.
I love the fact that you really extended that happens because I didn't even really consider that. It was
she was definitely waiting there. She let 3 elevators go by. She was waiting for Green Lantern. I'm sorry.
I wasn't even insinuating that. I was just insinuating the fact that the coincidence was bullshit.
She was way too cool for that not to be planned. Hawkgirl is way too smart for it not to have worked out exactly like she wanted. She has a Batman level intelligence.
I wouldn't say Batman level intelligence.
I don't know. I think Batman is probably the smartest character in this show.
That's some filet mignon.
And then I
shit
think
right there.
It's a real competition whether the second is Martian Manhunter or Shayera.
I would say Martian Manhunter. Shayera definitely has a lot of
different types of intelligence.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's different types.
I wanted someone leading me into battle, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I want Shayera.
It's going to be.
If I want someone to do...
Happy birthday!
If I want someone to do... So for macro organizing, I think I would go with Martian Manhunter. But
right.
if I was playing chess, a school assignment...
a school assignment?
A business proposition. All of these things I would go with Shayera. She has a much better social intelligence.
I feel way more in terms of...
And I think raw intelligence as well.
I think Martian Manhunter has more of a... The chess thing got me. I feel like that's more of a thing in regards to battle and strategy. While Martian Manhunter has a lot of numbers and words knowledge. Shayera has a lot of battle experience. She's worked with people and with fighting and commanding others, and she has she knows her way around weapons. I feel like Martian Manhunter though knows more about people, about social
Well, no, that's the whole arc he goes to the end of the season, that he doesn't know people, that he's great at organizing groups.
Well,
but he's still scarred by losing his planet.
Right.
That he doesn't have those social skills. He's
still
incapable of building anything except at a community level.
Okay.
Those individual relationships because of the trauma.
He still understands the relationships of others. Like, he very clearly talked to Shayera and talked to Green Lantern about their relationship on the team and how he didn't want it to jeopardize anything at all. He said, this person needs flight experience. You go take Vigilante because he needs to be in space. You go take Vixen and Shayera can do this.
I'm sorry, that was a terrible team.
No, that wasn't.
That was a terrible team. They were sassing their commander the whole time.
Everyone needed to learn something from that one.
No.
They only sassed the commander because of the fact that Shayera needed to let go.
No.
Yes.
No, they were wrong to do that. I'm sorry. They
100
should have shown more discipline and followed her orders, and they would have been better off if they had.
100%. What should have happened was Shayera needed to let go. She needed to gain a little bit more trust with the team, and she needed to understand what they were thinking as well. What had happened was, in that episode, she was sassing them back and forth. She was controlling them, not like they were people, but like they were tools. Remember?
I wouldn't say tools. I would say she was treating them like they were military.
Like military, yeah. And not like they were, they're superheroes. They're all, together for one cause, one group effort. Not like they're to be commanded.
Well, I think they would have been better off if they had followed her orders, which were all very good. Her plans were excellently organized.
She was going to sacrifice herself. She was going to let them go off in this, random deserted planet.
Well, look, the odds were against them. They wanted to take a route that was probably going to get all three of them killed. She wanted to take a route that was only going to get one killed.
No, all three of them were going to die because who was going to come to save them?
The Justice League would have come to save them. The Justice League knew where they were. She said it.
Yeah,
the Justice League will come for you in a couple days. You just need to survive.
If they survive.
But there was water and animals to hunt.
And also people to kill them.
But they weren't going to.
You don't know that.
I think we can reasonably be sure.
You think if they killed Shayera, if they took Shayera, those two wouldn't try to fight back? Those two would have let that happen? I think they would have fought back.
They had followed her orders
and
not done anything.
They didn't follow her orders. They formed a plan together, and they succeeded. So they literally just proved to her that you can't go this alone.
They got lucky.
They got lucky because they're superheroes, and they worked together, and they tried more than they were capable of. They weren't going to get lucky if Shayera just sacrificed herself. She would have gotten dead.
That was the safe play. Shayera tends to do safe plays.
But that's not what superheroes do. Superheroes
it wasn't super heroic. It was Lieutenant Shayera Hall. But they were well thought out.
I still think what was happening in that episode...
She did a great job analyzing her opponents.
What was happening in that episode was way more... I mean, like,
I think the next time we see her leading a team, we see a lot of improvement in her.
We see a lot of
But
improvement.
I
with
thought
her
she was
because-
starting from a high point, and she went to a higher point. Whereas at the beginning of this season, a couple episodes ago,
Right.
when in that first point, I would put Martian Manhunter ahead of her. But I think she learned and became more confident, and that puts her above Martian Manhunter.
because
Or
she
at
also-
least on his level.
She also has that social aspect. Alright, so going back to the actual episode.
That was one of our more interesting digressions, not about feminism.
Right. Go back to feminism. Okay.
Because we always go back to feminism.
We always go back to feminism. Okay. So, Shayera enters this, like, massive...
Look at that look on her face.
Yeah.
She is so smug. She definitely let 3 elevators
No,
pass.
she did not.
Vigilante came down and he was like...
He's like,
he was
whoa, hey, baby,
Do you want me to
how's it
stop the elevator? But she's like, no, I'll wait for the next one.
He's like, I mean, I'm not doing anything later tonight. If you're not doing anything later tonight, it's like, yeah, you're doing something later. It's going to be going to the hospital in 5 seconds. If you don't fucking go.
No, she just never mace with her.
She doesn't need her mace to beat the shit out of someone.
That's true. She would kick Vigilante 3 ways to Sunday.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, so they get into the freaking elevator together, and immediately Green Lantern screams, Judas Priest? Why?
Well, because he couldn't say, holy fuck.
I guess so, but he screams, he's like, Judas Priest! He was flabbergasted. He was insane. Like, what had just happened in this situation? He was totally out of control.
Yeah, and she says something like, I can tell Vixen where I got the dress or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was a dick move. Like, she sidled up to...
Yeah.
Look,
I've never seen...
this
Okay,
isn't a proud moment in Hawkgirl's life.
Right. Fetching. It's fetching. If you want one for Vixen, I can tell
Also,
you where
she
I
makes,
got it.
like, every explicit sexual reference
Right.
in this show.
Right, and they look at each other
Oh,
in
and
such
Batman
a lust.
goes, glad I caught you before you did something stupid, which is a great double entendre.
Right. Ugh,
Because they
jeez.
were face-to-face about to kiss.
Right.
But that wasn't what Batman was talking about. I'm sure
What?
he wanted to do both, but he wanted to tell them about how Carter Hall is a creepy stalker.
Oh.
So, Elliot,
Oh, that
on a
was-
scale
okay.
of 1 creepazoid
Oh, yeah.
to 12 creepazoids, how creepy is Carter Hall?
Alright, after what we find out more about Carter Hall develops quite a huge creepazoid listing where he becomes a stalker, pretty much, and then he becomes some kind of delusional nutcase who thinks he was the reincarnation of Hawkman.
Oh, that's giving it up.
Well, I mean, like, that's later on he becomes the 13th creepazoid. He goes nuts and starts blabbering on some insanity. So, like, after that, he becomes the 13th creepazoid. He breaks the scaling.
So Batman shows them pictures of Carter Hall repeatedly being there during Shayera's superheroics.
Right. He just so happens to be in all of these areas. I want to say...
It seems like a sort of crazy ex-girlfriend situation.
Right.
Where he... Where the rest of his life is really together. Mm-hmm. He's phenomenally talented, he's phenomenally smart.
Oh, yeah, right.
But this one aspect of his life, he's batshit.
Right. Well, because in this one aspect of his life, he's being incredibly influenced by the alien technology that kind of overtook him, as we will see later on. He becomes some kind of crazed lunatic that he's doing
Also, we
fantastic-
find out that there are multiple Hawkgirl hate bulletin boards.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, like, that makes sense.
Which, in their defense,
Yeah.
not sure I wouldn't be on one, considering what she did.
I just love the fact that she goes, boards? How many of them are there? And Batman has the audacity to give her a number.
I would have went not too many.
Oh, I would have. I thought he was going to turn around and say a lot, because that makes sense. She's Thanagarian, the Thanagarian War, but like he turns around and gives her a specific freaking number.
Well, I think it's somewhat comforting her that he tracks. Maybe he thinks it's comforting to her
Right.
that he tracks them and he makes sure they aren't a problem.
Right. Jeez. Make sure no one's got like a.
Also, she goes, so he's a fan,
Right.
and then he goes, he's a stalker. Which, by the way, you shouldn't date a fan. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. No.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Don't date a fan. I dated a fan once. It was awful. It's just like all it did was spin and whir. And it was like, It was the worst. And I tried to, take it back home to my place, and I took my pen, and it was the worst. So much blood everywhere. Oh, God. I still have the marks. So, Sha'ira and Batman.
So that.
So Batman starts showing Sha'ira all the clips about him being in every single location where Sha'ira was, and he's very clearly her stalker.
Yeah. Hawkgirl's angry, and Green Lantern wants to switch Carter Hall's insides and outsides. But Hawkgirl says she can take care of herself.
Calmly rearrange every single function on the guy's face.
So she goes, she
Yeah.
grabs the sword,
Uh-huh.
and decides to go on the date anyway.
She's going to go on that date with that really crazy hot looking dress. And her hair did. Look at all that hair did.
So,
Oh well.
yeah. Okay. So, which, by the way, she doesn't take her clutch with her.
Her clutch?
Well, she had a clutch bag. It's like a type of pocketbook.
Oh.
Things you learn from having sisters.
Uh-huh. Well, when you said clutch, all I
So
thought was
she does,
like,
instead of taking her clutch,
Yeah.
she takes the ancient Thanagarian sword,
Yeah,
which
right.
is officially the world's coolest clutch.
Right?
I can keep everything in it.
Yeah,
my
but-
stabbing and my
I
slashing.
was like, I've got my lipstick in this shit, and I've also got the, get the fuck away from me.
A regular clutch only carries lipstick.
This is a knife. I have a sword.
This can be stabby.
Yeah. This is how I get ready for dates. With this sword. Carrying on.
And it's a great conversation piece.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, say something interesting or I'll gut you.
or I'll fucking take out your lungs and show them to you.
Or, isn't it cool this is 8,000 years old?
Yeah, it's really cool. Now please take it out of my liver.
Yes.
Could you please remove it from my
Actually, if I
stomach?
remove it, it'll do more damage.
Probably. I don't know. You would have
Can
to...
you call the hospital then?
Yeah, right. Can you please
Okay.
just take out the sword from my body?
Things that probably should have been done to Carter Hall.
Yeah. He's fine. He's just,
Yeah, he ends up being kind of okay.
He's harmless, really. I
Not
mean,
really harmless.
Well, kind of. I would say kind of okay would make more sense if he was harmless. If he's not harmless, I wouldn't say he's kind of okay.
Yeah, kind of okay is perhaps a little bit strong of a
He's
word.
creepy, but he's harmless. He's not gonna hurt anyone.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like the guy standing outside with the radio playing, "Baby, come back,"
Yeah, except they never dated.
You can blame it all on me. There you go.
Okay.
There's your fantastic
So-
shining moment.
So Green Lantern's kind of broken up about Hawkgirl dating because of Warhawk,
He's
their
broken up
son.
inside.
But
yeah.
Batman responds, then why are you still dating Vixen?
Oh my
Which,
God.
when Batman is giving you relationship advice,
Yeah, you
he
fucked up.
of not seeing that him and Wonder Woman are perfect together.
Right.
Which reminds me,
You fucked up.
damn it, I miss Wonder Woman. Like, the Wonder Woman storylines were so good.
They were really fun.
She had such great. I mean, I know her arc is kind of over. That we had her have a full storyline, and then we filled in the gap when Sha'ira came. So there isn't really much to tell, but
Right.
we really had. They just. I guess they can't. They felt like in a boys' show they couldn't have more than one female character at a time, and damn it,
A boys show.
I miss Wonder Woman.
Boys. I the fact that he goes through, he's a Marine, so he deals with sense and logic and a lot of these very down to earth kind of concepts, and then he comes out with it's our destiny to be
He's a little better than that.
man and what? Yeah, like I feel like that was kind of a slip in the writing.
Poor Vixen.
Yeah, that and that also as well. It's really, it's like, if this is what you're trying to do, then why are you still with Vixen?
Yeah.
That is a really dick move,
Yeah.
especially like a thing to show or a kid's thing where he's not even torn between the two. He said that he's got to be with Sha'ira, but he's still with Vixen. Like, what the fuck is with that, man?
Yeah. Now.
That's kind of fucked up.
And it's kind of cool they deal with such a mature theme of relationships there that, he feels like he can't break up with Vixen over something like
Right.
what he saw in the future. but he can't stay with Vixen because of what he saw in the future.
Because of what he saw in the future.
So he's trapped there in neutral, and Vixen seems to be, pushing the car, trying to restart it. And
could you say he's trapped in maybe baby limbo? He's like on the fence of whether or not he's gonna have a kid with Shahira. He's got maybe baby syndrome.
which it's kind of weird that Thanagarians are genetically compatible with us enough to have children. That's a little weird.
I mean, they're humanoid, so there's. Yo,
Yes.
Clark. What is it? Freaking. Yeah, Superman is an alien too. So there you go. Then there's.
I mean, he never has kids.
Doesn't he have kids at one point?
Well, there was a what if story where he had a kid with Lois, and one of his kids had superpowers and the other didn't.
Oh, jeez.
It was super awkward.
That's very awkward, yeah.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. I remember there's a comic where it was pretty much just explaining the fact that we've never seen Superman anywhere besides, like, what he looks like that. So he very much could have some
He could just have tentacles where a penis is supposed to be.
terrifying alien genitalia.
Yeah.
Just, like, really disturbed. And there was a little comic where it's showing him and Lois Lane, and she's freaking out. She's like, what the hell is that? And just like, this is my Chlorplarg, since I'm an alien.
Don't you have one of those?
Yeah, don't you have one of those?
The Chlorplorg touch, and then you have a baby.
Oh my god. And,
No,
and
that
then-
is not what humans do.
And then I go and vomit a little in my mouth. So after Shahira leaves,
They're in Egypt now.
which is,
I wonder if they went to the restaurant in Cairo Vixen recommended.
they probably did.
I would have liked to call back to that.
They probably did actually go to Cairo.
That was
because-
like I wish they'd said something like that was a good restaurant.
This is-
restaurant
right.
last night.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, "Oh yeah, I got it from Vixen."
Oh no, I think he should have said something up.
Oh yeah, he should have said it. That would have been even better. Yeah. And then she just goes, "Oh."
It's a day after though, so we
Yeah.
can clearly see there something happened. And then after what they do talk about, something happened that night.
Oh yeah. They do a close up on her ass,
Stares at Diplo.
and it makes it very clear that he was looking.
Oh my god, that tracer.
And
It's jeez.
what is he goes? "I missed the dress. You didn't miss it last night."
Yeah.
Which is the new most explicit sexual reference
Oh my god.
behind. So now we have, as in the list of most explicit sexual references in the show, we
Right.
have Hawkgirl at 1,
Uh,
Hawkgirl at 2.
Well, what about the Batman one? He left his DNA all over town. Remember? No.
That's slotted in as number 3.
Oh, it's gotta be number.
Okay, I have seen his sock drawer. Is definitely number 2. I'm sorry.
But it was talking about Batman being a whore, not like that. Come on. It was literally, you have a dirty mind. That's what
Yeah,
she was telling
that was
him.
what you're saying. But I'm sorry. I've seen his sock drawer.
Oh man, it was
Is,
funny.
It's very clear.
It was funny.
So, good job, Hawkgirl, for claiming the gold and silver medal in the Things Kids Should Not Say
Right.
awards.
You didn't miss her when it was.
So, it's a good line.
The pants are fine.
You
You look beautiful in anything. And yeah,
Yes.
he's laying it on thick.
yeah.
Right here. Jesus. What's it? Carter Hall? Was it? Or I just call
So
him
yeah,
Hawkman at this
she's
point. I just forget his name. Hawkman is just laying it on thick. They are flirting back and forth mad quick. He even, one of my things that I noticed there is that he wipes his brow because he's sweating. Obviously he's sweating because it's in Egypt, but she's not sweating.
yeah, she's not sweating.
She's not sweating. So is he
and
sweating?
she's not even glistening like
Yeah.
Wonder Woman does.
Yeah, she's glowing. Is he sweating because it's Egypt, or is he sweating because hot mama baby's got that ass or something like that?
I think he's sweating because it's Egypt, and they're in the middle of a sand desert, which only exists in Hollywood.
And she's totally fine with it. She doesn't.
I think she's a little tougher than he is.
Probably. He doesn't have to care. She's got that ass.
So, long story short, Hawkgirl is awesome and in command of her sexuality. I'm not a huge fan of sex positivity,
Of what?
but
What do you mean sex positivity?
props here. I think Hawkgirl does it well.
What do you mean sex positivity? Oh, we're gonna get into a whole other feminism concept, aren't we, going right here?
Well, look, as I've said previously, it is up to women to determine what feminism should and shouldn't be.
I don't feel
That
like
said,
it's-
I'm not a huge fan of
it's an entirety of human nature and concepts of sexuality.
the sort of. I think Amy Schumer is a fantastic comedian. I think her work is hilarious, but that sort of feminism, I don't think is.
I don't know really Amy Schumer at all.
Oh, she makes a lot of jokes about the people she had sex with and then left. The kind of jokes that male comics make all the time, but it's newsworthy because she made it, and she's a woman. And then she brings up, she's like, no, I like sex, just like most women. We just aren't allowed to say it for some reason. And sex positivity feminism says that women should say stuff like that. And my opinion is that no, men just shouldn't.
So you're thinking no one should talk about that kind of thing?
I'm not saying you can't talk about it. I'm just,
Well, not talk about it, but
I don't-
in the way that they are. Because if
I
you
just
say,
don't think
if you
you
think,
should be banging random people in bars.
I'm saying that what you were saying is that it's not that you don't think women shouldn't do that. It's just that you think that men shouldn't do that as well.
No, I think both shouldn't.
That's what I said.
Yes.
So no one should do that.
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I think sex positivity takes the worst part of male culture and is like, we should have that too. And I'm like, no. It's good that there's at least some of us who don't have that.
Well, it's just kind of more or less bringing it out there that we don't really have as many differences in our gender,
Look, I understand the philosophical idea of it, and I understand that it is 100% up to women what way they choose to take feminism.
Oh my god.
But I hope they don't choose that one.
Oh my god. Okay, just carry on, Jordan, before I lose my goddamn mind.
Okay. So.
Yes. Yes.
Also, Dwayne McDuffie
Yes.
always writes a sex joke. In, every episode.
Dwayne McDuffie.
He's the guy who wrote this. He's the main... He wrote most of the episodes in this. He came up with Static
right.
Shock. So...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a great writer. The show is definitely... A lot of the best episodes have come when he's written them. I think he wrote most of the Cadmus arc.
Did he?
And yeah. He's pretty brilliant. So they go down into an ancient Egyptian cavern.
Right.
They fly around. There's a really awkward moment where he holds his hand out to help her down, and she's like, really?
She's already got their hands together, and then she pulls away, which I thought was a little awkward because of the fact that you had the sex joke.
Well, I didn't think it was the intimacy that was embarrassing her.
What?
I think it was the fact that he held out his hand to, help her down a freaking step.
No, I definitely think it was the intimacy part because they were having a little moment together, and then very much clearly after that she was considering it. It wasn't like a "don't do that because I don't need you" kind of thing. It was she looked away, like she was downtrodden because she thought she was getting too close to him.
No, I really think it was just that she was annoyed he was helping her down like she was some damsel.
Hold on a second. Oh, I was like, we're gonna watch this, and I'm gonna show you the look on her face was not. It wasn't like it was not disgusted to that level, but it wasn't like she didn't like it. It was she was kind of afraid of it. I will show you. Hold on a second. All right.
Look at this. She even ogles him as he walks by. She lets him go by and clearly looks at his ass.
She's very. She's very into it, but it's a lot of, it's a lot of talking, a lot of talk. There's no game involved. See? And then
Look at that.
No, she pulls away. She
pulls away because it was embarrassing to be helped down a freaking 2-inch drop.
You look at that. Oh man, if I could rewind this thing she looks away, and not in anger or bitterness, but it was.
Look.
It was just an exaggeration. Look at that. She looks away. She looks sullen and sad and depressed. She's She's like, I don't want to get too attached. Look at that face. Don't
I-
tell me that's anger. or
I say
bitterness.
that's shame at being helped down a 2-inch
No
drop.
way. If it was, she would have rolled her eyes or something. She would have said, like, really, do you think I need help? I can fly, kind of thing. It was clearly she's just trying very hard not to get attacked. Remember the story we're having right here. There's so many things pinned down against this guy that he's a stalker. So very much everyone is trying to
Okay,
make
if she was so worried about that, she wouldn't have slept with him. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that was just for the parents, though. In terms of anything else that is for the kids to understand their plot getting together, I do think the sex joke was really poorly placed. Not because of the fact that they shouldn't have a sex joke in a kids thing. It's just that they should have had it done
Not
way
with
after
her
this.
stalker.
Yeah, like not with her stalker, not with immediately, and then have all these parts where later on she just like wonders whether or not she should be going through with this. She's very much trying, and then you even see the smirk afterwards. You see the smirk by what I keep forgetting his name, Hawkman, because he's like, he's thinking to himself, she's having second thoughts, but she's having second thoughts, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
She's currently torn between him and whatever else that she's thinking about.
So
It's not.
they go through like 6 facial expressions in 3 seconds. It's fantastic animation.
It is
either
pretty
way.
good, yeah.
I really think it's about her.
He shows shock. He shows, kind of contentment towards her. She shows a reserved nature towards what's going on with the two. I definitely do not think it's not that like empowerment kind of thing. It's because they're acting as a couple. It's not because he's trying to help her because she's a woman. He's trying to help her because he wants her to be his woman.
I will agree to disagree.
Yeah, okay.
So, I think her independence is important to her, and what he was doing there undermined that. But continuing
disagree
on,
completely.
in the temple, there is beautiful Egyptian art and poison-tipped
Mm-hmm.
arrows.
There's also, I don't know, some hawk woman in the back holding an nth metal mace. Let's just freeze that one real quick. Yeah, they're walking past all these great Egyptian art, whatnot, and then they happenstance upon. They don't even talk about it. They don't bring it up at all, and they just show the woman standing there in the.
Well, no, they already talked about how there was Thanagarians in ancient Egypt.
They talked about the
So this was clearly a pure.
They talked about the possibility of that, saying that they needed to excavate more because he just said that he found like this one piece of Thanagarian technology, not the just like absolute blatant ha. It's just like all right out there in the center of it. Also, absolutely like the next scene that happens where she goes off on her own and kind of starts messing around with, the very clearly booby-trapped crap in the room. And as soon as she fucks
She forgot rule 1 of Indiana Jonesing.
Oh, yeah.
Don't touch anything.
Right, so she touches everything, obviously, and then all these poison needles start shooting the crap out at her and eviscerate the little piece of art that was made that she was looking at, which is really funny because, like, they set that
Poor
up.
set up for traps, like, really?
No, they set that up to be like, if you're looking at this thing and we miss, we fuck up our stuff.
Yeah.
We break our stuff
So,
real
these
quick.
traps make no sense within physics, but let's ignore that.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah. Oh my god. I love watching the whole,
really.
The crazy flash frames that happened in that one scene were a little muddled. It looked like they had just kind of taken pictures of it and slipped them over each other in one of those, flip book styles of animation. It wasn't exactly the most proper. Also, she doesn't do anything in this scene about, her independence and strength or whatnot.
Well, he just saved her life. You got some points for that.
He saved her life, but very much it was literally what you were talking about. Her independence and her empowerment. It was them as a... Oh, there you go. He fucking helps her up once
Doesn't
again.
help her up.
That was exact. He let his hand out. She grabbed his hand. He helped her up. She was helped by him. The entire situation right now is her considering him as a partner. as
I think they're in a relationship
A
right
love
now. I
interest.
think you have to consider that.
they're in a relationship right now, and she's going through a lot of shit to deal with that fact. It's not anything to do with her empowerment, is what I'm saying. Definitely, she has a lot of that. She goes through a lot of that in previous episodes, but not in this one. This one's about her love relationships.
Okay.
She gods him on
So,
a lot of
whatever.
that crap. Yeah, so whatever.
He says...
So Elliot's right and Jordan's not. So there you go.
And now we find Batman tracking and spying on them.
Batman's
Little
the
creepy.
Batman's the dad with the shotgun.
So
that's
Batman
promising.
walks through and sets off traps, but
Oh my god.
he's Batman.
I love
So
yeah.
traps don't really do too much to him.
Right after the trap activates, like a billion goddamn needles come and start stabbing into the walls, and Batman just walks through them pretty much. He jumps over a bunch and then just leaves. It's like whatever, who gives? Fuck it.
Huh. Usually I do this on Wednesdays.
Yeah, usually people try to stab me on about 3:30 from now.
They were supposed to be tasers.
Yeah.
It's nice to mix things up.
The Joker's laughing gas at 2, and then more bombs and guns at 3.
Okay, yeah. So
Nice transition.
Batman goes there. I'm his Wonder Woman. He springs some traps. They don't hurt him because, he's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then Batman walks past a strange shadow which follows him.
Mm.
Fans of Hawkman know what this means.
Fans of Hawkman.
In a giant throne room,
Yeah.
Carter Hall admits that he led Shayra there under false pretenses. And he's really Hawkman. And has invented mobile wings which work.
Yep.
Can we just talk about that for a while?
I don't know. Maybe
He has wings.
Maybe he found that as more like Thanagarian technology.
Maybe he found it as Thanagarian
Yeah, he
tech.
never brings up
Wait,
that.
but why would the Thanagarians make that? They're born with the wings.
Maybe they made them for their followers so they can fly with the gods.
Oh, look.
They did talk a lot about how the Thanagarians in Egyptian times were loved by their people, and they helped them because, all the time.
Well, the Thanagarians wrote that they were loved by their people.
The Thanagarians wrote.
Fidel Castro says that he gets up.
Oh, right.
Stalin got 100% of the vote.
Right.
So,
I mean, but this is a
And
kid's
so
show,
did
so they
Fidel
won't-
Castro. So,
They won't lie like that. I just actually want to bring up a point. They use so much in terms of shadow and lighting with the fires that are lit in these rooms.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
think it's fantastic. One, they have to because of the sense of purpose it gives to the main villain of this episode. What was his name? Shadow Thief?
Shadow Thief.
Shadow Thief. It gives him, more purpose. It makes you look and consider every single shadow. But it's also very impressive to look at. They do so much shadow work. If you think about it, they did some shadow work before in that other episode.
Yeah.
The other episode with Hawkgirl. Remember when she was using her mace to
Yeah.
look at the different...
And then the shadow didn't move,
Right.
so she found it when they were on the planet.
Yeah, she found out that it was a hologram because of the shadow work. It's just very impressive how they do that with
The
her.
animation in this show really goes above and beyond.
Right.
And we get the Hawkman reveal, which
Oh,
is really cool.
jeez.
He's got just the square jaw for a superhero.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And the
the design on Hawkman is cool.
and the shoulders that launch out way farther than they ever should.
It's a great design.
Shoulders in these
So-
goddamn episodes.
What's not so great is how he explains their reincarnated lovers
Oh,
destined
yeah.
to be together.
Someone's been reading a bit too much of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But apparently,
He just went up from 8 creepazoids out of 12
8
to
creepazoids.
13.
He was 13 before. Oh, well, he was 13 because of the culmination of what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So, okay, yeah, this is the part where you
This is
realize
where he graduates to the 13 out of 12 creepazoids.
where he becomes the 13th creepazoid.
So-
It was a very impressive lighting effect where he's behind a pillar. He's explaining that he brought Hawkgirl there for nefarious reasons, and she brings out her mace thinking something bad might have
No,
happened.
she had her base the whole time.
Well, no, she brings out her mace in a fighting stance. She holds it like she's ready to smack him. And then with the lighting effect, you see him putting on the wings, you see him putting on the helmet, and then you see the shadow take off. So you know the wings work.
Yeah, it's cool. And
You can call me Hawkman. Hawk baby daddy.
so yeah,
He also even has a mace of his own. Where
Yeah.
he found that, who knows?
maybe
More
he took.
Thanagarian technology.
Yeah, he took it from the.
Yeah.
I think. So yeah, her response is to laugh.
Is laughter. And I love her little instance right after that. She goes, I have the worst taste in men.
Yeah, I love that.
So you knew that
Which
there was...
is, I imagine, exactly how Carter Hall imagined that big reveal was going to go. It's like, okay, big reveal.
She's gonna
I
love
get
me.
laughed at.
What? Really? No way.
No. His thought process was exactly what you said.
Yeah.
I was making a joke.
Okay, yeah. Big reveal. She'll love me. We'll fly off and, do
Fly
something.
off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet sex.
We'll do that scene that happens in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where he flies with that girl that he knows. And then in the middle of the book, it says you can skip all this and go to that really interesting part with Marvin near the end. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh my god, it was a great
I do remember the trick is to fall
Yes.
to
and
the
then
ground
not-
and then miss.
Well, yeah, you fall, but you start to not think about falling.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Which is really funny because, how do you just suddenly not think about you're falling? But, Arthur Dent just seems to have a really addled mind.
Yeah.
You just gotta do that. It also makes a lot of people imagine, is that something you can really do? I've never done that before. I've never managed to fall and then not consider me
That was like
slamming
a thing a
underground.
kid would think of
Right.
and then fall for the next 3 hours on his face repeatedly,
Trying to think about it.
trying to not think about
Or,
it.
yeah,
So,
trying to find out.
we hear their conversation as Batman easily springs and then gets out of various traps
Mm-hmm.
because he's Batman.
Because he's awesome.
I would also like to point out, during the reveal, Hawkgirl flies up and he's like standing above her, illuminated by fire.
Uh-huh. You see
It's
the
this
shadow.
very powerful scene.
Right.
And normally, like, it would be like he has power over her.
Right.
But in this, it's kind of reversed.
Right.
That she has the power. Because she's just laughing. And I wonder if, just a thing about Thanagarian psychology,
Mm-hmm.
if, humans, if somebody is standing above you,
Right.
you naturally consider them stronger than you.
Right.
Because
That's
of
also
the high ground.
Yeah. No, that's also
So,
a
like,
bigger
we
thing.
show undue respect to taller people.
Mhm.
And stuff like that. Just people who are higher physically than you
Mm-hmm.
are shown respect.
Right.
It's a natural human thing. But Thanagarians probably don't have that so much because they can fly. So height is meaningless to them. So Carter Hall, as a human, naturally assumes that high, manly pose. And it probably makes him seem somewhat ridiculous to Shayera, whose idea of a normal conversation
Yeah.
would be someone standing next to her.
She
So
does.
it's ridiculous for him to stand up and do that dramatic pose, which would have wowed a human.
That might not have been it exactly. I mean, definitely it could have been a part of that, but she was very clearly focused on the fact that this was the reveal and this is her stalker, and she knows exactly that and as she quotes, John and Batman are going to come back to her and say, "I told you so."
Yeah.
So yeah, she's very much explaining right here that she has. She couldn't even tell that this guy was going to turn out to something as ridiculous like this, and
I mean, who could have guessed that? Like, really?
who could have guessed I was dating Hawkman? I mean, like, Ash went through this one weird phase in one of the Pokemon movies where he was dating Latias. Not really. There was this whole scene where he's like playing on a swing with this girl.
Latios is going to be really jealous.
They're like brother and sister, man. It's fucking weird. It was really funny. He's like on this swing set with this girl, and then like the scene shifts, and it comes back, and she's turned into Latias, and Ash is like freaking out. He's like, "What?" It was funny. It was like, "Yo, I was dating this chick, and everything was going great, and then she just straight up turned into a Pokemon." How weird!
Zoc.
What? Yeah, it seems Zoc, man. Yo, it's harsh, dude.
So,
My last girlfriend turned into the moon.
yeah.
That sucks.
That was a great line.
Oh
I
my.
just love Zuko's response. He's just like, harsh.
Yeah, harsh. He just like didn't know what to say. It's like, sure.
Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing. So,
Afterwards.
Batman gets out of a quicksand trap
Mm-hmm.
and then is attacked by Shadow Thief.
By a shadow.
He throws some batarangs at it, but
Doesn't work.
they just go through it.
Yes, he does.
And then he throws Batman off a tall archway.
He sure does.
So,
Batman gets the shit kicked out of him in this scene.
Hawkman now tells Hawkgirl how he discovered that he was actually her reincarnated lover from ancient Egypt, where they ruled as pharaohs because they got stranded there due to space reasons.
Space reasons.
They were apparently well-liked despots,
Yeah.
gods even, until they were poisoned, like all well-liked people.
Yeah. I also really like.
You can tell I don't like dictators.
Yeah, I also really. Oh, there you go. That was very subtle. I like the fact that he uses this device that explains to him everything that was going on, and it was just the thing that probably poisoned his mind. It's called the Absorbicron, which is just like, how generic can you get?
Well, it was a reference to Star Wars and the holocrons.
Really?
Yeah.
It might have been. They made another reference to Star Trek at one point. And it's just like, it's called the Absorbicron. So it like what? It absorbs data and then it like shoots it back out into your mind vagina or something. I don't know. But he goes gaga over this, talks about discovering it and, you know, his brain getting mucked up all over. And when I touched it, it just fucked my head. So
Yeah, pretty much.
there you go.
It was not good for his mind. Thanagarians have fantastic mental defenses, so they can get away with stuff that humans just can't.
Yeah. And then clearly he's been running around in the past 5 years thinking that he was, you know, the reincarnated freaking space bird god.
Qatar hole. Something like that.
Qatar hole. Yo, I'm going to hit you right in your Qatar hole.
So,
Yes.
So, yeah. This is not going so well for him.
Gets fucked up pretty well.
But his point is somewhat proven by the secret self-opening wall from ancient Egypt with futuristic technology.
Yes.
And the fact that there's actually a spaceship there.
I also like how Thanagarian culture, they looked like Egyptian
They
culture.
look like Egyptians, yeah.
Yeah, so like they were totally willingly accepted. Just at the time, they looked like they were Egyptian.
And this is just another one of those, the pyramids were created by alien stories.
By aliens. It's a nice kind of story, you know? And then look, there goes Moses, you know, whatever.
Yeah, did Moses poison them? Because that'd be kind of awesome.
Yo, if Moses was...
Score one for the Jews.
For killing, like, I don't know why I'm giving you a high five. For killing the super...
For killing despots.
They were awesome despots. They were alien despots with crazy technology, and they were helping and loving the people.
They were pretty much Fidel Castro.
They were prospering like there was nothing else. I can't imagine they probably only killed, like, 2 or 3 of them because it was funny. Only like 2 or 3 of them.
Maybe a day.
Maybe a day. Oh my god. Dance for me until your feet bleed.
I don't know. I got like a super creepy vibe from the ancient Thanagarians. Like, who's like, yeah, I'm a god. That's a thing I am.
They looked like they ruled.
If somebody started bowing down to you and calling you a god,
they ruled with love and compassion.
You would be like, oh, that's cute. Get the fuck away from me. That is the proper response.
Okay. If someone was ruling me like a god, they would have to prove it, like, by doing godly things. And these guys were aliens in a time where people thought, leeches were a good medicine tool.
Doctors actually still use leeches in some situations because they actually are good medicine.
I would disagree completely.
No, that's a fact.
Like,
you don't really get to disagree with facts.
Where do they use leeches?
Well, what they do is they actually clean the blood and they take some toxins out of it. So there are cases that...
Where, as in, like, in what parts of the world?
In America.
Can you find me, like, these areas that you still use leeches?
New York.
I can't even imagine that these actually exist. I want you to find me a place where they actually use leeches.
An article in the Times. They started using them again because they actually worked pretty well.
Where in the Times? What article? I want to see this.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Like 5-10 years ago.
5-10 years ago?
That they started using them again, and then they did another article about a year ago.
I want to go find this article because this is a load of horse shit.
You can go search it.
I'm gonna go search it.
It's a real thing. People still use leeches.
Yeah, they used to use leeches back in the day, and they used to kill people with the
what
leeches.
killed people was the fact that they
No, they
were
were
terrible at medicine.
they were documented
And
cases
it wasn't
of
until
the fact
after the Civil
there
War
were
in this country that
There were documented cases of the leeches draining too much blood and people dying of that shit. Don't give me that eye.
No, that's true, but, I mean, there's documented cases of people getting too many painkillers and killing themselves. So
Well, that's a different
you can do
thing.
that with modern medicine, too.
I'm just saying, like, leeches is not a good thing to do. I don't know.
It depends on the situation.
I'm gonna go find this article.
Okay,
Carry
so,
on.
continuing on. Hawkman is really into the
Yeah.
taking over her mind and convincing her she's a reincarnated lover.
Well, he's had his mind. I can understand.
No, because he has mental illness. He's got that one-track mind.
Well, it's not mental illness. He's had his freaking brain zapped by the Absorbicron, so now he believes this is destiny and that this is his life. This is now his everything, and if he doesn't have his everything, then what else does he have? So he needs to show her, and he's like, here, come on, I have to show this to you. You can't like go. You gotta show. He's freaking out right now. I think you would too if you were told that your destiny was this, and you now really believe it. You would try and get a lot of people into doing this thing. Excuse me. Or the right people. You would try very, very hard. You would lose your mind, which is pretty much what he did.
Alright. So, in the giant throne room,
Alien tech, man.
yeah,
It's one hell of a drug.
with the spaceship, Shadow Thief attacks the two of them.
Yes. After Hawkgirl says pretty much, no, I ain't doing this shit to you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he tries to drag Hawkgirl to it.
Yeah, the
The
Absorbicron.
Absorbicron, but he forgot
And she's Hawkgirl.
she's Hawkgirl.
Well, he tries to
She
drag
could
her.
eat him for breakfast.
He tries to drag her
He
to
is so out of her league. It's not
Okay,
even
we
fun.
get it. He tries to drag her to the Absorbicron because he's trying to convince her. He's not trying to overpower her. He's just like, he's desperate.
He's
at
so
this
excited that, yeah.
point. He's desperate at this point. His eyes were like bugging out. It was
He looked
crazy.
like a crazy person.
Yeah, he
Which is
pretty
pretty
much
accurate.
what's going on. He's had destiny shoved into his brain, and this is pretty much, like if Jesus Christ came down for a bunch of people, or what they believe Jesus is. They would be freaking out.
So,
Oh my god.
Shadow Thief comes and defeats both Hawkgirl and Hawkman.
By stabbing them in their soul
Yes.
places?
Yeah. Looks like a soul attack. sort of
Yeah, he
thing.
stabs them and they kind of start doing some weird warping shit.
I like how he's got the vanity to make himself like a sort of muscled body.
Well, I mean, everyone really is kind of that regard, I guess. It's not really a muscled body, it's more like a shapely body. Shaped.
No.
It's got shapes.
I feel like he's got some muscle tone there.
He looks like a normal...
Rather unnecessary muscle tone.
He looks like a normal dude. Well, I mean, he runs around and stuff. He can be whatever shape he wants.
Yeah, so...
He's probably in shape, He does a lot of exercise, He steals a lot of things. That requires a lot of, quick movement.
So... He also really likes money.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure what he needs money for, though.
I mean, I would imagine he would want to have some kind of, a small area where he can just do whatever the hell he wants. I wouldn't assume that many people would see a walking shadow, and assume it's a nice thing to do.
I mean, he doesn't need to eat. He doesn't really need a place to sleep.
Does he? Do we know that? Does he
I mean, it's not like anyone's going to charge him admission to a museum. Anything like that. I'm not sure what he needs money for.
What if he wants his, grandeur plans to cast a dark shadow over the world? Or something.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. What if he really likes to gamble?
I haven't read enough Hawkman to know
I haven't
why
read
he likes money.
any Hawkman, so...
I read some when I was a kid, but not much.
Did you really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So...
He's got them tied upside down and shoots water, I hope that's water, at Hawkman's face, waking him up. He's got them two strung up, and he's telling them he needs Hawkman to infiltrate the tomb's final line of defense so he can get inside at all that sweet, sweet gold. Oh boy. Because he likes money a lot. He
It's kind
also...
of cool there's such an underground market for Thanagarian tech. It
Well,
makes
yeah.
the world seem more real.
It's very
Because
much...
in our world, there would definitely be a secret black market for it.
Oh, yeah, of course. If that shit existed, you'd see people chomping at the bit to get that stuff. You see people chomping at the bit to get everything. Hey, did you hear about that part where they unearthed the lost copies of the the Atari ET game.
Oh God.
Those things went online for a lot of money. People wanted to buy those.
To play the worst video game ever made.
It's to own a piece of history. It is documented as one of the all-time worst video games ever created, ever. And
They dug a hole and put them in there.
They dug a hole and put them in there. Well, because, I mean, at the time, it almost destroyed the video game kind of industry. Because it was... I didn't almost destroy, but it really, really discredited a lot of things. You know, like, this is the culmination of video games. You know, come on, guys. Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, definitely Thanagarian technology go for a lot of money.
I'm just saying, why didn't he steal Hawkman's wings? Those things are worth more than anything.
I don't know if he
I would pay a fortune to fly. He doesn't even seem to really need to flap them that much.
there's a whole lot of other stuff, and he probably just doesn't give a crap at the moment.
Maybe he doesn't realize that Hawkman's wings aren't real. I don't know. But
he doesn't. He thinks Hawkman's like actually he just grew those wings randomly.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
So, but it seems like the wings are the most valuable thing in there.
It could make you fly. He doesn't need to fly. He's got all that. It's literally.
No, he doesn't need to fly.
But
think how much that would go for.
Literally, you are opening a vault of gold and jewels from an alien from an alien race coming down to Earth, and you're gonna grab a pair of wings. I mean, like it's literally. Are you going with diamonds, or are you going with like, you know? Enough money to go and pay for a single outing at the melting pot or something. I was trying to think of a joke about what's that? The Olive Garden. Isn't the Olive Garden like really expensive? Someone made a joke last night where some guy won like $1,000. It's like, oh man, now I can go to the Olive Garden, and then they won another thing. It's like, oh dude, I can get an appetizer now.
I think Olive Garden's pretty cheap.
Is it? I don't know.
Probably.
Probably.
I've never been.
And I've also heard it's really crappy food, so.
It is.
Oh,
they don't salt the water before they make pasta.
Oh, okay.
Because it would void the warranty on their pots.
I thought when you said they don't salt the water, I'm like, I would really hope they don't. That would be really shitty water to drink. Really terrible drinking water. That's not ice, that's salt. Ew.
So, he threatens to torture Hawkgirl.
Yes.
And she's just not intimidated.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she doesn't enjoy torture, but
Alright.
she isn't exactly breaking anytime soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did stab
However,
her.
Hawkman gives in.
Well,
and agrees to help him because, it's a lot harder.
It's a lot harder to watch someone you love being tortured than being tortured yourself.
I'm not sure I can say that, but at least in his case it is. Because Hawkgirl has probably undergone training.
Yeah.
Because if you're sending someone to a mysterious planet, you're probably giving them training in torture.
He did shove
survival.
his hand in her chest, and she passed out in like a second. So I'd imagine he would have quite enough to fuck her over. He is kind of creepy and terrifying and weirdly powerful, but that's a story for another day.
So
Hawkman.
Hawkman is about to open it up for Shadow Thief.
Open up that vault.
When Batman comes in, Shadow Thief manages to prevent him, Batman, from freeing Hawkgirl. But he should have remembered the old game we used to play. Who would win, Batman with time to plan, or anybody?
Or anyone.
There's only one answer in this game.
It's literally...
It's always Batman.
Yeah, literally always Batman at every single step of the way. If he's fighting Galactus, if he's fighting goddamn...
Thanos or Darkseid
Thanos with the freaking gauntlet, it doesn't matter. He will still win. If he has enough time to plan, he will win every goddamn instance.
Yep.
Holy shit. Yeah. So, freaking Batman comes in, stops all this good shit going on, and then they get into a fight scene that unlocks, like, evil robot zombie mummies or something? Like,
what the hell are these? They're robots too. So, who put those here? Why would they make them look like that? In my opinion, I think what just happened was because you can't have you can't have killing in the kids show. That's clearly what's going to happen. You can't have killing go. So they have to be
they're
robots.
mummy robots.
Yeah, so they have to be mummy robots. They're defensive sentinels. That makes sense. They have to be mummy robots, because you can't have killing happening in robots.
I mean, they have future tech here.
Definitely.
And it's Egypt themed, so you have to have mummies.
Yeah, but they're still active after so goddamn long. That is
Okay, the poison tip darts still worked. That means they had to have like 6,000-year-old springs that haven't rusted.
Right.
Thank God they had that good ancient Egyptian melted steel.
Spring-loaded trap.
Sorry, stainless steel, I meant to say.
Yeah, these guys were just in sleep mode. They've been
So-
updating for thousands of
While
years.
Batman and Hawkman fight the robots, Hawkgirl frees herself and defeats her own robot.
I love that. I love
Because
she's like
Hawkgirl is the best.
she's like struggling with the chains on the wall, and she's trying to break the chains off, and then the guy comes in, and she's like, "All right, whatever," and jumps up and just rips the wall out of the wall. She rips the stone out of the wall that crushes the robot. Oh my god, it was so funny. I was laughing so hard after that happened.
She's great.
And then they come in to Giggle Fucker over here, Shadow Giggle, eating away all that good old cash and stuff. He could just put it away in his freaking
So
chest.
while they're
It's
doing that,
totally
Shadow
fine.
Thief goes shopping
Shopping.
in
And
the burial chamber.
I want these shoes, and I
But-
want these shoes.
Hawkgirl remembers he's a shadow
Yeah.
and lights up her mace, which is enough to defeat, or at least put him on the run.
Yeah.
And then Hawkman comes in with a
A
torch and Batman with a flare, and
Yeah.
and Shadow Thief's pretty much defeated.
Yeah.
So he does what any defeated villain does, causes an earthquake and runs,
He escapes.
destroying the temple in the process.
He does what any villain does. Causes an earthquake. Wait a minute, what?
Well, the runs is what any villain does.
Yeah, he runs away.
Causes a distraction. In his case, it was an earthquake.
Yeah, he
So
manages-
Hawkgirl and Hawkman fly out, and Hawkman tries to go back for the Absorbicron,
Yes.
but Hawkgirl
Notices
stops
that-
him
yeah.
with concussive force.
It doesn't matter. No, I've got to save it. Yeah. So this is.
I love how she just punches him in the face
Yeah.
and then saves his life.
Because he would not have given up 100%.
He would have died.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I understand what he's coming through, what he's going through. Is that was his destiny. That was his life, and he needed to show her that that's what they were, and that was the only way to do it. I can understand all the crap he's going for, and I can understand why he was freaking out, because this was literally, he's been brainwashed at this point, and it's kind of crazy. But very much, yes, he would have died, and Hawkgirl saved his freaking life. He's also really good at, waking up after being slugged across the fucking face.
Concussions don't exist in this world.
Yeah, no.
You can get knocked out and have no negative repercussions.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah, he's good.
I mean, in our world, concussions are hideously damaging,
Oh, very much so.
but not in this world.
Yeah, Hawkman just, whatever. I mean, at this point, I don't think Hawkman is very human, because
He
got...
seems like he might be at least partially non-human.
Yeah, he absorbed the information as well as any other kind of tech they've got going on in their structure.
So,
With Hawkgirl's crazy, long belly button line.
so Batman, Hawkman, and
Just gonna gloss over
Hawkgirl
that one, I guess.
oversee the wreckage. Hawkgirl tries to explain to Hawkman that he's just been taken over by the Holocron. Hawkman doesn't listen.
Yes.
He knows the truth, just like any 9/11 truther. And
Oh my god. Yeah, that was subtle, Jordan.
yeah, so he says he loves her,
Yes.
and
She freaks out and says, "You don't even know me," and then he drops a crazy amount of knowledge about her, which is a very creepy thing. Because
also proves he really doesn't know her.
what do you mean?
Because if he knew her, he'd be smart enough not to reveal he knew all of that stuff.
Well, no, he's explaining that he does know her, and I mean, that's something more of for the kids to and the parents to see.
It explains.
came across as really stalkery.
It does, yes. But it just shows that he understands who she is, so like that's not another thing. And see, that's another thing that she gets. She's slowly being kind of coaxed into this whole, and it's a very scary thing because this is sort of what stalkers do in a way. They kind of coax into the "you love me too" kind of mentality, and he's telling her that I know who you are really. This whole thing really is destiny, and this is her battle throughout the entire episode of her trying desperately to understand whether or not she wants to go with him in the end, or whether she wants to see this whole thing through, or whether she wants to fight it.
No, you're right. I think that's a good point. I didn't really notice that. That is what stalkers do, though. They insinuate themselves into their lives. They find excuses.
Right.
They know just too much information for it to be flattering.
Right.
And it's a good portrayal in a way that a kid would find it inappropriate, but not incredibly creepy.
Right. Yeah, they would find it inappropriate, and then parents would definitely try and explain that Hawkman's fucked up.
I also love, she goes, how stupid do you think I am?
Right.
Scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah! Batman is such a sassy motherfucker.
That's awesome.
I definitely, if there was a laugh track to this episode,
Yeah.
it would be whenever Batman said something, like a response to someone. It was, how stupid do you think I am? Scale of 1 to 10, or looks like I caught you guys before you're about to do something stupid, because he is literally that guy. He's the what you talking about, Mr. Wilson? Oh my god.
Yeah.
He
So Batman says, don't worry, I trust you. It was Harl I didn't trust.
Right. Which is why he bugged her. That was another thing I was going to actually ask. Do you think he really did trust her and just wanted to
I think
trail
he trusts her.
You think he trusts her?
Because, correct me if I'm wrong,
I correct you.
he
All the
voted for Hawkgirl to stay in the league. I believe, right?
Yeah, I would believe that too.
Wonder Woman voted against.
I can't remember who. Did they ever show who?
They don't really show it.
Yeah.
We know Green Lantern didn't vote.
He
The
didn't?
Flash,
When
Green
did-
Lantern didn't vote.
When did this happen? I can't remember. Was this at the end of the Thanagarian War?
Yeah, at the end of the 3-part.
Oh, I never actually saw that. which is-
I went and I finally watched it.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
It's a whole war thing going down there.
yeah. So what is it?
A bunch of nonsense.
So I think
A
I
lot
don't
of
remember
people
how
died.
Superman voted for. I think Superman voted for her.
Yo, did you know that the Civil War wasn't civil at all? Like a lot
Martian
of people,
Manhunter
a lot of
voted
people
against.
got really, really hurt.
Yeah. So
I would imagine Superman would vote for her.
I think
would
Superman
see,
voted for
I
her,
would see Martian Manhunter voting for her.
and then let's see.
Hmm.
So then,
You have all those, yeah, that's everyone.
yeah,
Just you're not using Shazam, and Cyborg isn't in this either.
yeah. So then, Batman must have voted for her because she got in.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah,
Batman
he
clearly
trusts her.
He trusts her, but he knew that she needed help. Is his
Right.
explanation, I guess.
I
I
don't
mean, he came in at the right
I give him a
time.
pass. That was a Batman thing to do.
Yeah, it's a very Batman thing to do. To
Uh-huh.
trail. He didn't send someone after her. He came himself because he wanted
He was
to make
her
it.
friend.
He wanted to make it personal. Yeah, he's the guy that's coming in and saying no, he's no good for you. He's making this more about his problem than ever it really needed to be. You can tell that he's really looking out for the team in a way because he doesn't want this crappy relationship status to just ruin everything that they've got going on. He
Yeah.
doesn't want this whole love affair with Green Lantern and Vixen and Hawkgirl to go on any longer. He wants it to freaking end. I don't think that he would mind if Green Lantern and Hawkgirl were dating as much. Just the fact that what's going on with Vixen and Hawkgirl, Vixen and Green Lantern is too much for him because it's that is what's going to cause a lot of crap going on. He says that he doesn't like the date within the team, which makes sense, but it can happen. So he feels like if it was a strong, good relationship, I mean, this is all assumption, so whatever.
Yeah, so continuing on.
Carrying
So
on.
Hawk Girl, I think there's a part of her that hopes
What?
that he was right, that she had a destined lover
Right.
and all that stuff, but
We do.
Batman just goes, if you believe that.
Yeah, you're.
And we
destined
know
mumbo
that she
jumbo.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And then we
Or-
see inside the sarcophagus
Mm-hmm.
the two ancient Thanagarians holding hands
Right.
eternally.
But they don't have wings.
You know, they probably just wrapped up the wings.
Or maybe they, since they did it, what do you call it? They did it mummification style, so they took out all the parts.
Yeah.
They took out the insides and they took off the wings. Maybe. Who knows? Or maybe it's not even really them. Dana. Did we answer the big question? I forgot.
Yeah, we did. I think we talked about. I think we should do some final wrap up thoughts on it, but we talked about how they dealt with these
The
themes
idea.
of stalkers
Yeah.
and sex
Yeah.
and how your friends need to look out for you
Right.
in a way that
Kids could understand.
kids could understand,
Mm-hmm.
parents could read the full meaning of.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the most important thing they did, they never crossed the line of being inappropriate to children.
Okay.
But at the same time,
It was like never too far.
I think they did occasionally step over the line when they were saying the adults thing. Like, I think you were right. They might have been better off cutting the line
Right.
where Shayera talks about them having sex.
Right.
Maybe we could have disposed of the close up on her ass.
I
and then
think-
her subsequent ogling of his ass.
I feel like a lot of that was fine. It was flirty and whatnot. But then to have the whole confrontation where she's starting to think about her reserved nature and whether she really wants to be in this relationship with him, I feel like having that after the fact, after the flirtatiousness and after the fact that they talked about that is a bit harder to explain. Because, I mean, yes, you can say that a lot of people are a lot of talk. A lot of people will work up a conversation, and then when you get really into it, they start to really think about the relationship status that they're about to have. Not like Facebook status. I mean, the relationship as in, are they going to be in one? What do they mean to each other? What does she want him to be for her? And she starts to really truly think about it. But there wasn't enough time in between that. It was literally her making a joke about them fucking, and then after that, like 5 seconds later, she's like, oh wait, but maybe I shouldn't be doing this. It's like,
I don't
really?
think she considers sex that big of a deal.
Maybe. Who knows?
She probably can't have kids, and she probably is immune to human STDs,
We
so...
very much know she can have kids because they had that one in the future.
Yeah, but they probably had to use magic and
I don't believe
some
she had
sort
to
of
use
science
magic. Come on.
to have kids. I imagine the biology isn't that compatible that she has to worry about pregnancy.
Well, she talked about being what's her face? I think Static talked about Shay being one crazy pregnant lady.
Yeah.
She was one crazy pregnant lady. I think
I imagine she was fighting
anything.
the supervillains at least through the second trimester.
Yeah, and she was like, no, she still had the gut going, and she was flying around and screaming with the mace, like she was.
And the supervillains were just like,
all right,
avoid the stomach, avoid the stomach, avoid the stomach.
No. They were just like wrapping their sleeves up, saying, all right, cuff me, please. I'm not touching this. This is weird. I'm disturbed right now. She is going nuts, and she will kill me. That is pretty much exactly what happened. Oh, she's crazy or cranky. Regardless, whatever that happens. I feel like, having these kind of subtle things where they do talk about sexual nature and whatnot is fine for kids, but just when you have it, you gotta have it. Like, yeah, you can't just shoehorn them in there for the parents. You have to have them make sense, for the people that are in between. For the, the man children, like us, or, well, at least me.
I consider myself an adult.
A man baby? I'm a man baby. I'm like Seuss, pretty much, from Gravity Falls, if you know who that is. Seuss is like this... How do I explain Seuss? Yeah, he's a man-child, pretty much. He's a large man, and he's about, I don't know how many years old, probably he's in 20s or 30s.
and he has the mind of a child. So that's pretty much exactly the people that really go in depth into this stuff. But after that, how do you feel about this episode, Jordan? Where would it rank up?
I don't know. Let's see. Okay, let's, I guess, start comparing it to another Hawkgirl episode, Mystery in Space, which was the episode we were talking about earlier.
Mystery in Space.
Also called Hunter's Moon.
Mystery.
Where the Thanagarians try and kill Hawkgirl.
Space.
I don't think it was as good as that. Let's see. The Cat and the
definitely
Canary.
not. You don't think it was... Oh, wait, that's yours. My bad. You think it was bad as that.
Yeah, I think it was better than the Cat and the Canary. So I've
you
got
did?
my...
Really? Huh.
You really didn't like the Cat and the Canary. You've got that as your worst episode.
No, it is one of my worst episodes.
Okay.
Just realizing that it was not that great. I think I might have rated it too harshly. But
I liked this a lot. I thought it
knows?
dealt with very mature themes in a very interesting way that I think a lot of kids shows
don't
would be
touch upon. Really.
wise to use.
Ah,
Do things that go over kids' heads.
yeah.
Make sure you deal with them well.
Yeah.
Where would you put it, Elliot?
I would put it a little lower. I think I would put it underneath kids stuff.
Okay. Damn, we both had I Am Legion really low.
Yeah.
So
I Am Legion. This was a fine episode. It really didn't do anything that great. The animation was fantastic.
animation was
The
fantastic.
animation was fantastic. The use of shadows was great. The back and forth between the characters was nice. It's just that, not much really happened in this episode. I mean, you had an entire new character get brought in, but he only shows up like once more, I think.
He shows up once more.
Yeah, he shows up once more, which is
But
like...
there's only 10 episodes left.
This is true, but the thing is, if you wanted to make the point that something does very much happen in this episode because they introduce an entire new character...
They introduce a new character every episode.
Well,
This is Justice League Unlimited.
they introduce a new character who has like a legitimate role. They introduce a new hero, is what I mean, because they
like
introduce-
every episode.
They introduce new villains. They didn't introduce a new character in the first one. They just
Green Arrow.
No, in the first one of the next season. I
Of this
guess
season?
of this season. I guess they introduced what's his name, the fucking
I mean,
the
Grodd.
the Warhawk guy.
Um,
Well, no, Grodd has been an existing villain. He was
I guess
there
Grodd's
before.
been an existing
All
one.
those villains existed
They-
there before.
the Key was new in the first episode of this season.
He just doesn't really do anything though.
Well, he was supposed to.
What-
He was supposed
what-
to be a piece of Brainiac who was helping Lex Luthor.
When
But then
I-
they changed that
When I
later.
explain they introduce someone, like this is a major character. This is Hawkman. He's had a long running with the Justice League. So this is a big thing. But they don't really use him because of this story that kind of piggybacks on the whole Shira and Jon Stewart love affair. So it's...
Which I like better than a Hawkgirl, Hawkman
Hawkgirl,
romance. It's like,
Hawkgirl,
really,
Hawk.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're both Hawks. I
Yeah.
think that's why you're dating.
Caw. Well, I mean, that was the thing.
I mean,
But-
like, dude, like,
That's how I
like
felt.
I'm not so into interspecies relationship. So, like,
You've
you know,
never-
I'm good, and there's like no other choices. So, you know,
You've never
I
had
support
love
you.
until you found gorilla love. It's something else. That's how I feel actually with Superman and Wonder Woman because, like, I mean, of course they would be dating, but that's the thing. It's bland. It's very
Yes,
obvious. They're the they're
Wonder
the,
Woman and Batman is
they're
clearly
the power
way to go.
couple. It's clearly the way to go, and anyone who thinks otherwise is wrong.
Flame War.
Word. All right. Well, there
All
you
right.
go. This is our
Any
feeling.
final words?
Always remember to unplug the toaster before you take a bath with it.
Wise words.
Thank you.
And stay beautiful.